Hey everybody, good morning. It's 8:01. Good to see you. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for making Pivot Shift Ahead part of your day. If you're watching live, thank you. If you're watching the recording, you're awesome too. We're just glad that you're here. We're getting excited over here because today is Load the Van Day, right? It's Load the Van Day to fill up with all the books. If you're coming to Elevate, I think you're getting 4 books, maybe 5. So leave room in your suitcase, all right? We're sending you home with books. You have a journal to take notes in. You have a little tote bag to carry your stuff around, and we've got other surprises too. We're looking forward to it. So if you're coming to Orlando, let us know in the chat. We'll see you at Elevate at Disney World. My team leaves over tomorrow. Load the van today and head over tomorrow. So we'll meet many of you there. So we're excited about that. What that means, by the way, for you is there's no call Monday or Tuesday of next week. We're not having a pivot call Monday or Tuesday because we'll be at Elevate. So no call Monday or Tuesday. Wednesday, if you come back a week from today, we will tell everyone where Elevate 2026 is. So those of you who are at Elevate, boy, you'll get a heads up. If you're on the early advance, warning list, you'll get a heads up. And then if you're not on the list, we'll tell you tomorrow. So, or a week from today, rather, a week from today, we'll tell you. All right, let's do a couple of Tell Me Something Goods. Hi, Bree.
Hey, friend. So excited. Aside from seeing this group, Lord willing and the creek don't rise in 48 hours, I am excited to just share that April has been one of the most amazing months, real estate wise. I want to thank some agents for their amazing referrals. Paul and Mew for connecting me with two of the most amazing clients that fast became family. Um, that closed. Carmen Wilm, Jaleesa Thomas, and Jack Smith and Divya for helping an outgoing referral I had out in Tampa, Florida, helping some clients sell their home there. This community is absolutely hands down the best community to be a part of. I'm so grateful, and this year is personal. So thank you all for your referrals.
Proud of you, Bree. See you in a couple of days. Latoya, good
Thank you.
morning.
Good morning. So, yesterday I was a guest on my first podcast. I had no idea what to expect. It was Rise and Grind with Ben Baker, awesome guy. And in this process, I was forced to focus on my story. And I have my story now written down and I'm ready to tell it. So, he's just unleashed another beast in me. And also, I closed on my first rental last week. I've been telling people here and there, but now I'm shouting it from the rooftops.
I'm proud of you. We'll see you in a couple of days.
See you in a couple of days.
You got it. Alicia Strickland, you get the last one. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for the pre-show, by the way. It's all about consistency and I have to remember it all the time. But hey, I just wanted to shout out my son, my oldest. He is the newest member of the nuclear part of the Navy today. He had his big interview yesterday and he is in. So thanks for letting me share.
That's amazing. Cheers to him and thank you to him as well. That's really cool. And I know you got to be proud too. So proud and nervous, right?
So,
yeah.
We're Navy people. My husband.
You're used to it. You got this.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, congratulations to him and thanks to him as well. That's very cool. Thank you, Alicia. Appreciate you. Let's get after it this morning. There was a good one posted yesterday inside of the Pivot group, and I promised that we would talk about it this morning. So did you see this post yesterday inside of Pivot Shift Ahead? Did y'all see this one yesterday in Pivot? From Danielle. It says, help me with a buyer client who wants to write non-competitive offers in a super competitive market despite my and her lender's repeated advice. How many of you have worked with buyers like that? Man, you have told them and explained to them how the market works, and they're like, oh, I love this house priced at $350. Can we write it for $210? Can we write it for Bree, y'all right? Did I scare you over there? I love this house priced at $350. Can we write it for $210? How many of you have had buyers like that? Anybody had buyers like that? Put it in the chat. And by the way, I love it. 156 comments on this thread. 156. A lot of them are saying things like, this person's not a real buyer, you should dump them, they're not motivated, and that may be true. But I don't think it's possible to know based on the information we were given here. We need to do a little bit more. It's not just as simple as move on. So I want to talk strategy right now. I want you now listen, I see hands up, but I'm going to put them all down because I want you to hear my question and then I'll give you a chance to put them back up. So hold on, Mary, I'm putting them up. Oh, there you go. Okay, put them on down. Because I want you to hear my question. My question is this. When you have a buyer who you have started the process with, you've done a buyer consultation, like this agent did. This agent had done a buyer consultation. This buyer is motivated. The agent gave us, because I asked, the agent gave the situation. The buyer's definitely motivated. They're just not understanding. What do you do to reset expectations? How do you help a buyer get it? Pam?
Good morning. We have a buyer who's also a seller who always says when we take him out to buy, and we have consulted him buying and selling, you think I could get it for this? And, if it's $499, he wants to put in $425. And every single time we turn it around and say, how are you going to feel when that offer comes in on your house? And he gets it, kind of swallows hard, thinks about it, but he's done it 2 or 3 times. So I have to tell you, he's not on the market yet, but he's someone who wants to get a deal, but his house is not up for a deal. So we put him in the other person's shoes as much as we can.
Great one. So if they're selling too, to go back and go, all right, so you want a deal when you buy. Do you want to give the buyer of your house a deal? Well, how would you feel if that's the offer you got? It's good. Thank you, Pam. Julie, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I am so sorry. I owe you an apology. Somewhere in our consultation, I missed a step. Let's regroup and talk about today's market and why, we're going to write an offer for the asking price and we may be asking for more. So please accept my apology and let's get together today at noon and regroup. I always look back at going, what did I miss at my buyer's consultation? Did I explain what the market's like? Like somebody asked me the other day, Julie, what price are we going to offer? I said, you're going to offer full price and then you're going to put an escalation clause in. It's just our market. So I always look back and think, what did I miss? What did I miss? So that's what I would do. I just go back and apologize and say, let's regroup.
A buyer's participation is a reflection of your explanation, right? That the way the buyer is showing up is based on how you educated them about the process. So if they're coming and consistently writing lowball offers, again, I'm reading through this and so many of you are like, move on, fire them. I think that's the wrong answer. I really do. I think that is the wrong answer. It might be right to do, but I think on what she has said, I don't think we have enough information. So those of you that were our quick answer is just move on. How often do you just discard things? You've got so many buyer leads that you can just freely discard them without going back and doing a kind of a sit down and a check-in. The way the buyer is showing up is a reflection of how you've educated them. And so, Julie, I love that you own that. You say, hold on, wait a minute, something ain't right. And I have messed up somewhere. Let's pause for a minute and let's go back and make sure you understand the market we're in today. It's great, Julie. Thank you. Miranda, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I mean, kind of the same thing as Julie's. I have not run into this in this market, but I think part of that is because the first I break up my buyer consultation into like sections, right? So the first section is market education. The second section is going over the process and what I do differently or what I'm promising to do for them. And then the third section is going over their wants, needs, must-haves, those kinds of things. So the first part of my buyer consultation always is the education on the market. We go over the vision slides. We go over the statistics in our market. What is the average sales price of the listings right now? Well, it's 100%. Oh, really? Yeah, well, it's 100%. The average sales price of the list price is 100%. Well, then you're probably not going to get a house at 90% discount. So I personally—
Unless it's 10% overpriced.
Well, that's true too. Yes, right. Exactly. Yeah. We do look at comps, and obviously if we think it's overpriced and it's been on the market for 40 days, then that's different. But for most of the homes that are newly listed, as long as they're priced right, when we look at it, we're saying, okay, especially if they have multiple offers, but if you're educating your clients on the current market situation and the going over the vision slides, I don't think that you'll run into this. Now, if you still are running into it, well, that's a different story, and you definitely have to figure out why where's the disconnect of what their expectation is and what the reality of the market is, because there's a gap and they're not getting it.
Yeah, 100%. I think if you're in a market like what Miranda's talking about, which parts of Chicago are very hot. When I was in Michigan, that Lansing is like going crazy. I think we have to set the expectations in the consultation. Like she said, that listen, when we go out and look at how, well, let me rewind. Uh, th this this market isn't for everybody. That's how I would start. Something like this. This market isn't for everybody. And if you want to buy right now, you have to be willing to play to win. Are you willing to play to win? Now they're going to say yes or I don't know. I mean, those are really the two possibilities, right? Either way, you're going to tell them the same thing. If they say yes, you go, great, let me explain to you what it means to play to win. If they say, I don't know, what does it mean to play to win? You say, let me explain to you what it means to play to win. And then you set the expectations of what's going on in your market. Like Miranda said, right now, the list price is the start line, not the finish line. Right? So you understand in this market, when you go in and look at the list price, it's the start line, not the finish line. In other words, that's where you're gonna, that's the lowest you're gonna offer. Now, if your market's not like that, maybe they're getting 97% of list price. You go, listen, sellers in this market are getting very close to list price right now. They're getting many offers to choose from. They're pricing it very effectively, so you're not going to save a bunch of money. And then you might tell them whatever other things are going on, right? That maybe some of you are doing post occupancy, or people are waiving inspection, whatever's happening in your market. You explain that these are the trends, right? In order to play to win, you need to be able to do these things. Now that you know that that's what it takes to play to win, are you willing to play to win? And some people might say, yeah, I'm willing to play to win. Great. Now, by the way, I'm going to remind you because you're going to forget. You're going to forget and go in and see that house, and you're going to think the thing that you've always thought about real estate, which is you can negotiate them way down. And I'm going to remind you that in this market, no, you got to play to win. And if you really want the house, you got to write a competitive offer. Or some people will say, no, I don't want to do all that. You know what? All those things, I don't want to pay 100% of list price. I don't want to be in multiple offers. I don't want to do this and do that. Then you just look at them straight in the eye. At the consultation, in the very beginning, you look at them straight in the eye and you say, well, then this market isn't for you. And then you just close your mouth. Now, what's going to happen? They're going to say, okay, we're going to rent another year and we'll wait. And then you didn't waste your time driving this buyer all over creation. Or they'll say, but we have to buy right now. But we have to get in that school district. We have to get on that side of town. We have to do whatever. Okay, well, if you have to, then this is what it's going to take to win. Are you okay with that? We've got to set expectations that way. We have to. Donna, you have to stand by because I'm getting text messages that they want to hear from Divya. So we're gonna jump the line to Divya. On my phone, I'm halfway home and my pager is blowing up that they want to hear from Divya.
Oh my God. Now I have to say something really good, James. This topic is great because I just went through something like that with a buyer that I've been working with. He is a high D. I have no D in me at all. Also, he's very knowledgeable about the market. And we went to see this home and he wanted to put a very low offer. The house is only been on the market for 27 days. And I had to explain him that how much do you want this house, right? So also setting the expectations from before is great. However, when it comes to putting the offer, some of them forget those expectations. They just want to do what they want to do, and you have to remind them. So painting the scenario of how would you feel if you were selling your own home and after 27 days, someone put an offer with this price, would you accept it? And that's when he realized that you're right. So let's meet in the middle. So we went higher. We counter back about one more time. And we're under contract, but it's all about, like James said, it's all about expectations, strategies, and making the buyer understand the whole scenario. You have to paint different scenarios so they can actually understand. That's what I did with him. And we are under contract.
I'm so proud of you. You know, this morning on the pre-show, I shared my post with you that said there's no hacks, no tricks, no secrets, Divya. I said that it's tempting to believe that there's some shortcut, but there isn't. This business rewards those who are on purpose with purpose, the ones who show up focused on the basics, the agents who learn the plays and run the plays over and over again. And it goes on. I get it. Be boring doesn't get you excited, but it is the answer. You don't need 75 ways to 65 listings in 42 days. Here's what you need to do. And I want you to listen to the, what did I, let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Talk to people, follow up, overcome objections, understand the market, and price it right. Now, I want to point out something that Divya just proved to us. Divya understands the market. Because did you hear what she said? This home's only been on the market for 27 days. For some of you, and I saw Cindy put it in the chat, 27 days means it's overpriced. In Tampa Bay, 27 days means it's priced right. The key in this market is to understand the market. You have to understand the market, what's going on in your market. And then you have to be able to share the realities of today's market with your buyers and sellers so that they too understand it. If you have a buyer who is writing lowball offers, they don't understand the market. And whose responsibility is it to educate them on the market? Yours. If you have a seller who's not pricing effectively, they don't understand the market. And again, please don't be mad at me. Please. But we've been doing this every day for 5 years for me to just kind of tell you the truth of what's on my mind. When you have a client who doesn't understand the market, you didn't help them understand the market. You have to do a better job of helping them understand the market. Danielle, you're the one who asked the question, so I want to come to you. Sorry, Donna, I ended up skipping you altogether. Danielle, you asked the question, so I just want to know, was this helpful today? She's here.
Yeah, sorry, I was stuck
There
in
you
the
go.
chat.
Yeah, you're good. So you posed the question. First, I commend you for asking the question. I'm sorry that most of the answers you got were incorrect.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I think
yeah.
you agree with me that the answer is not fire this buyer.
Yeah,
This buyer just needs some education.
exactly. It's not to fire her, and she's just frustrated. She came from a Florida market where she had to take a lower offer on her house and is coming here, and things are on the market 1 to 2 days. I mean, it's just fast paced and different than what she's expecting. And I have to find a better way to manage her anxiety about this crazy market that we are in, where the asking price is not just the starting point, it's like before that, like things are going $30,000-$50,000 over that. So
Well, I mean, that anxiety it's going to keep on trying her.
yeah,
She's going to feel it quietly and try to silence her. But you've got to educate her, bottom line. Shake it off of her
right.
and educate her on what's going on. She's bringing her PTSD of her experience in Florida. And I'm sorry that we've screwed everything up for you, but our state's really good at doing stuff like that. And we have mastered screwing things up down here. So it's messed it up for her. And now, but she's coming. You're in Wisconsin, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry about the Bucks, but you're in Wisconsin. And I'm sorry, but in the Midwest area right now, it is quick and fast, and the market is tight. And she's come from here. I don't know what part of Florida she came from. Do you know what part of Florida she come from?
She's not on the coast. That's all I know.
Okay, that's fine. But like Tampa Bay is one of the markets where I live, is one of the markets where home prices are coming down the fastest. So she probably had to sell it for less than she thought and was probably on the market longer than she anticipated it to be, and then probably had to sell it for less than she wanted to. And then she comes up to Wisconsin. Not only is she up where it's going to snow, and she has to pay top dollar. No wonder she's writing lowball offers. So our job is to go back, and I think what we talked about in the thread we were going back and forth yesterday is it's time for a reset. We just got to sit back down and walk through what's going on. And I think you might have to have in this market, you need to play to win. Because she's living with her family right now, isn't she?
Yes, she is. And that's
the question I'd ask her is, how much longer do you want to do that?
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that very long. All right, then we got to play to win. And here's what it's going to take. If you don't want to play to win, you can live it with your parents or whoever she's living with. You can live with them for a long time.
Right.
Or we got to play to win. Danielle, I appreciate you asking the question. I really do.
Thanks, everybody.
Sorry to those we didn't get an answer to, but you can go comment in her thread. It's in the Facebook group. Go comment on it and help her out. Thank you for being here. You got your inspiration. Go put in the perspiration. Don't forget Sarah Maslowski's YouTube class today at 2 o'clock Eastern. youtube.jamesdshaw.com. I emailed you the link at 8 o'clock Eastern. It's free class. So we'll send you the recording if you're registered for it. Thank you for being here. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.